So you want to get your CDL, but don't know where to start? Watch this video and I'm going to show you all the tips to get your Class A and some pros and cons that come with it. Alright, so first thing you need to do is go to your local DMV, go on the local DMV website, schedule a permit test, a Class A permit test. Once you schedule that, study before you go over there and take the test. There's 3 sections to the test: general knowledge, air brakes, and combinations. The general knowledge was 50 questions, air brakes was 25 questions, and the combinations was 25 questions. Some methods I used was DMV permit. I know they got it on iPhone. I'm not sure if they got it on Android, but I think it was like $7, if I'm not mistaken. It's a good website to use. I use that a lot, so I think that was a pretty good one. Another thing you can use, if you go on YouTube, look up a guy named Barry Branson. I used him too. He was pretty good. He pretty much kind of just goes everything on the test. All right, so you got your permit. What's the next thing you do? You go to a trucking school. Some trucking schools can cost, about $1,200 to like $7,000. You go to some schools and they pretty much just kind of cover the entire cost from you. They'll teach you everything and you get their permit through them. All right, so you got your CDL, now you're ready for your job. The first job can be a little hard, because you don't have the experience. Some companies want you to have at least about 2 years experience, but there is a shortage of truckers out there, so you pretty much just search for a job. There are companies that will hire rookie drivers, so all you gotta do is just look online and find one, and you pretty much kind of go from there. So those are the 3 steps to get your Class A. Hope that was kind of just straight to the point. Now I'm gonna kind of go over some pros and cons about the truck. Pro to the truck driving is you get paid really well. You can get paid anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a week plus as a company driver. Also, you can use truck driving as a stepping tool to get your own truck and pretty much make like 4 times that. There are truckers out here who own their truck and they can make 200 plus a year, 300, 400 plus a year, so it's good money. Another pro is that you get to travel, you get paid for living. You go to places like New York, Cali, Miami. Just experience different things. It's probably one of my my favorite parts. There's always something new every day, and it's never the same as yesterday. Another pro is if you don't like coworkers, then this is pretty much perfect for you. It's just you're in your own bubble. You don't have to worry about other coworkers. Only coworker you have to worry about is just your dispatch getting your load. So another pro with the truck driving is if you have a sleeper, you pretty much have like your home away from home. Like this guy's a bed, you got like a fridge, microwave, TV. Some guys bring their game and stuff, or you got a closet. I know some truck drivers, they be out here months at a time, so it's pretty much like you're home away from home. And pretty much everything you need on here, as far as like the necessities, you pretty much have everything right in here. Alright, so let's get into some of the negatives. If you got like a wife, family, kids at home, and you're used to being home all the time, be prepared to be gone. They do have some companies out here where you can be home every day, so you just gotta find them. One of the things I kind of found out quick was, definitely being away from home. That was a big change for me. But I kind of just see it as like, my sacrifice for them to pretty much give them the life, that they want. So just kind of keep that in mind. Another negative is when you're picking up a load, some of these warehouses can take, hours. It'll take a really long time to probably just give you like a few pallets. So patience. You definitely need patience out here. So if you don't have the patience, maybe this might not be the right fit for you. Another negative is probably like the food out here. We don't got a lot of options. All you pretty much just have is just like the fast food or the truck stops. You can meal prep, but sometimes you might be in a rush, and the only thing you do have time for is like grab a little quick burger or something from the truck stop. So if you can get used to eating that all the time, you'll be all right. But eating all that all that junk food and all that type of food for you, it can add up. Another negative is probably being lonely. You out here hours at a time, just by yourself in your own head with your own thoughts. A lot of truck drivers get depressed, you know what I mean? So that's definitely, one negative. Definitely a con is, being out here by yourself. A lot of truck drivers can, they can start to get to them out here, kind of just being isolated and, away from everybody. But other than that, I mean, that's kind of pretty much it. I've been doing this for a while now. I'm 31. I got into this when I was 26, and it's been great. I love it. I love this job. Something I do want to do. I do want to own my own truck, so I'm kind of using this now as a company driver, as my stepping tool, to buy my own truck. And that's what I want to do. Get my own truck, own my own company, and pretty much kind of go from there. All right, so I hope that helped you. Getting straight to the point, just kind of telling you all the steps to get your Class A, and some of the pros and cons. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, share. I plan on doing this thing with the YouTube, so I do want to start this. So if y'all like this kind of content, you want to get behind it, support it. I'm gonna see where this takes us. I'm pretty much gonna just show you a true behind the scenes of what life is as a truck driver, over the road, going home, seeing family. Pretty much just all things I do. Pretty much the life of a trucker. So if you think you like that kind of content, subscribe. Let's see where this thing takes us. Let's try this thing out, see where this takes us, and see where this goes.